Hey guys, I'm Doug and this is Mike. I hope you know Mike Jasek.
Hi.
Mike's going to be starting a new small group. I'm going to be there. It's for guys who, at any level, struggle with pornography. So Mike, let me just ask you, what motivated you?
I think I just know what it feels like to be trapped. And to know what it feels like to think, you know, this is my last time and I'm never going to do it again. And then say that over and over and over again. Until finally, you know, I realized I needed help. If you're feeling ashamed like I was, and you didn't want to talk to anyone about it, you really need to get with a group of guys that you can trust, because that's really the pathway to freedom, is those relationships with other guys, to get accountable and to learn how to fight together and for each other.
Okay, so this is a video curriculum. We'll watch a video, we'll have conversation in a small group after the video. Is that the idea?
Right.
Okay, so let's watch a clip and get a glimpse of the video.
I had wanted to fly a jet aircraft since I was 4 years old. I wanted to be a fighter pilot.
Hey.
And so it was all I was living for.
Still think you're a hotshot? You won't last 10 seconds in combat. You know how to fly, but you don't know how to fight.
You have to understand how the enemy is personally bushwhacking you. I was an alcoholic. I was a sex addict. I was completely out of control. Like I had a rope around my leg, they have a noose around their soul. And the harder they pull against it, the worse it gets. That's why trying harder doesn't work. You have to know your enemy if you're going to win. It's not just going to go away. Just the power of sexual bondage. It promises you everything, gives you absolutely nothing. It feels as if there's no hope, you're never getting out of this. But the shed blood of Jesus Christ guarantees there's a way out.
We will create trails in our brain that are just going to fire on an automatic sequence.
You're fighting for the very lineage that God gave you.
What a man does in life becomes history, but what he puts into motion becomes his legacy.
And if you will break this curse, then your sons and your daughters have a better shot.
It took me 3.5 years, but I'll tell you now, you know what I'm having the joy of? Is sweet revenge.
So Mike, I think the video looks great, the curriculum looks good. I want to ask you a question from just experience, and I think I would say the same answer. What do you think it's going to take for a guy to come to this group?
You gotta make up your mind that you can't do this alone. And if you'll humble yourself, get over the shame, and come and just learn together with a group of guys how to fight this fight, you're gonna be glad you did. And just like I'm glad I did come clean, and I'm able to talk candidly about it, and I'm able to experience the freedom from what I was experiencing before.
Yeah, and obviously we're going to try to make this a safe group where we won't talk about who's in the group or about the group, all those kinds of things. When Mike and I were talking before, we were reminded of the guy who was at the well to get well. He sat outside this well. And Jesus came up to him. He's here for like, what, 30 years or something. And Jesus comes up to him and says, do you want to get well? When I read that text, I think, what do you mean, do you want to get well? And I think it was, do you want to get well now? Do you want to get well bad enough to make a move? And that's really the question. If you're at a point where you go, this is something I want to get well from, then I think this is an opportunity. This is a place where you could get well, or at least better.
Right.
We'll work together. All right.
Be on the way to wellness, and that's where we want to be on that road.
All right, so give us the logistics. Where do we?
Okay, we're going to meet Saturday mornings here at Crosswinds Church from 7 to 9 a.m. The video takes about an hour to watch, and then there's about an hour of small group activities to process through what we learned in the video and how to apply it to your own life, so you can go home with the tools to learn how to fight and how to be a man of God for your family, and to live in the kind of victory that you want to live in.
Yep. So that's October 8th.
October 8th will begin.
Is the first one.
October 8th.
It'll be, did we say 5 or 6 meetings? How many meetings is
There's
there?
5 meetings.
5 meetings.
In the initial video series.
Yep.
So.
All right. Anything else you want to say?
Come.
Thanks. Water.